I made a cool song and I want you to download it on Bandcamp. It's a remix of a song I made 8 years ago that was like the beginning of a lot of cool things for me. So here's how I made it. Okay, so basically, I know that the old vocals are not going to be on here because they are on this computer, which is no longer functional. I just tried to restart it a million times and it's just not functioning. It's not going to happen. So we're going to create some fresh vocal takes, but first I'm going to listen to the song and take some notes and see what I might want to change from what I have. This is like an old backing track that I performed with earlier in the year, so shouldn't be too crazy, but I always like changing things, so we'll see. Here we go. Okay, already bass is quiet, not very dynamic with the kick. Could soothe out that synth sound. Okay, cool. It's a really short song, so I'm thinking the bass needs a little bit more dynamics with the kick. There needs to be more of a push and pull there. The synth sound is like annoying that I have in there. Bum, bum, bum. So I might even plug in this Korg and see if I can do anything with that, which is borrowed from Neil Francis. So thank you. Mwah, love you, Neil. There's some stabs that are necessary to make it a little more oomph. I'm almost thinking like a ballroom, like bah! Crash cymbal. Background vocals could sound fuller, and I want delay on the pad. There's no dimension in this room. So we'll see. Let's see. Okay, so I think I figured out a fun bass sound. I've been dialing in some stuff. I don't need to keep you in on the specifics, but here's the Korg synthesizer that Neil is letting me use. We can't hear that well. So we're gonna mix some of that in with this. And I might keep the bass sound that's there, but I think I just wanted a little bit more something. I was listening to Doechii, Get the Fuck Out My Way, or whatever it's called, GTFO. I think it's just called GTFO. But that bass sound, just like low drop rumble, I want a little bit of element of that. I feel like that would help the kick a little bit. So we're gonna see. Love this sound. Okay, love that sound. Okay, the bass sounds good. I realized that the kick and the little tappy, like tight drum tap on the quarter note, but it sounds like a metronome, right? Oh wait, maybe. I'm so stupid. It was a metronome. So I'm gonna as you were, mind your business. Anyway, what I'm doing now that I turned off the click, I am just gonna go through and sweep out some frequencies so that the new bass sound and the kick feel a little bit better together. Just with some simple EQ stuff, nothing crazy. And so I'll just use, I don't like this little that part. Yeah, just give it to a little bit more, actually even a little more room. I'm just gonna go ahead and use a stock UAD plugin that I have for preamp and kick, because I do quite like the way it comes through. So this is on our kick, yeah. And we're just gonna put a punch on it, or do we want punch? Let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah. gonna bring this house bass up a little bit. Oh, maybe not there. Bring it here. Yeah, that's a good start. Okay, so I feel like that's talking to each other a little bit better. I might do some other tweaks, but... Okay, so now I am kind of going through, I wanted those, that synth that came in. This was like an added part, I think, for a performance, but it sounds annoying to me. So I'm gonna try and strengthen it with like a closer synth sound to like what I'm hearing in the Doechii. It's kind of got a little bit more like growl to it. So maybe I can like beef it up by doubling it and running it through two different sounds. But let's just find the bass sound, the bass part. Let's sweep through a couple. I'm going for something that's like, what would I hear in a Sean J. Wright set? Like something spooky over like a you know, like spooky still, but oh. Okay. Actually, I kind of like that one. So I'm gonna keep that one and then double this and maybe layer this bit. I'll run an EQ over this so that I can sweep some of that high stuff out and then maybe put in my own high thing later. Yeah, let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah, maybe even sweep some of the lows out. Let me hear that with the bass. We need a fun, like, we need a fun layer on top of that. So let me see. But let's see if maybe we can get some like strings or something, you know what I'm saying? I need to not hear all this other shit. And maybe let's shift all these pitches up an octave too. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's something. Okay. Let's see. Plucked strings, bowed strings. And I'll just add some delay to that so that it sounds like it's got some room. It needs some room. So let's see, delay. Again, I'm going so goddamn basic. Maybe there are some good UAD plugins for delay. Let me see. But it's really like, if you know what you're doing with the original stuff, do you need all that other shit? I didn't see any good ones, so let me just stick with what I know. And usually what I like to do in a delay situation, I'll switch it to time. And then what I'll do is kind of add in a different time for each ear. So how far do I want this to go? Maybe like around this area. And then I'm gonna switch this one. We need just solo that. A good way to just kind of check in to see what the delay actually sounds like is to give it a quick pause. I'm thinking I want like a huge room. Like really fast. So maybe this feedback turn up. Ping pong it. Yeah, okay, and then I'll just throw some EQ on there too so that it doesn't sound janky banky. All right, so these guys together so that, and it turns off. There's a sound I don't like in there. Yeah. Already that's so much better. Okay. Okay, cool. So something I used to always kind of like want to take out about my music is the rubs. And I think I've started to like I know what kind of rub I want, right? And then there's also some kind of rubs that I'm like, ooh, that feels crunchy and I don't exactly like I know why. I'm not running a Roman numeral analysis on everything though, right? I'm not like some of this stuff when I made it, I was not creating with that in mind. I was literally just like improvising and throwing in different chords and being like, okay, I like this color, I don't. And my mind was not making those kinds of connections yet. I can do that now on a keyboard and it still takes me a little bit of time when I'm composing in that way. So I don't want to completely get rid of it. I could go back and be like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. But what I'd like to do instead is just make room for some of those ideas to come through naturally because when I go and see a person DJ, they do not have that mindset, right? They're not thinking, oh, this chord is clashing with this one. They might, to some degree, know what they're doing in that aspect, but part of the magic of it is that they're breaking rules that they don't know that they should not break, right? I like that. I enjoy that. That shows passion and um, like a regard for doing things without this like painstaking correct thing, you know? I hope that makes sense because I see both sides of it being really beautiful and impactful. And there's still times where I'm in the club and I'm like, ooh, this is not correct. But it doesn't mean I'm not shaking my ass. Okay? So I'm just gonna duck. I'm gonna compress this one a little bit when I have this C minor 7 chord come in because it's kind of like a little crunchy. Yeah, and then it just comes right back in. So it's like some of those things just need to be pulled. They don't need to like completely disappear. They don't need to be rewritten. They need to be like phased in and out in the way that your ear will allow you to hear it. Like those elements are pretty together in my mind. So let's just work with it here. Let's do some editing. I found the stabs. The stabs are these little fun. It's called Whistler Winds, and I don't know if these must be things that I added in. Played like a couple like 2-note chords, and I like them. Maybe I will jump onto the Korg again just so that I can beef them up a little bit because I do like that sound. But this is what I meant. Yeah, so let's hop back onto the Korg and see what we can create from that. Simple, I've detuned, or I've pitched it up a little bit. It's not quite as thick as the original sound, so I'm not sure if this is what I want, but we're gonna go for it. Sounds like this. I actually don't mind it. I think it's kind of nice. I think it adds a little something. Let's hear it. Okay, here's the next part. We get to record some of these vocals, the backgrounds, and the leads because they're gone. They're lost to the annals of time. Annals? I like anal. So what we're gonna do is head to the closet. It dampens some of the sound and catches any extra echoes. And so I just sing right into the closet, and it's a pretty good deal. I just kind of like close myself in there a little bit. Sweet. Cracking up a bit because I just realized I recorded this song in 2018 and I do not remember the lyrics all the time. So I'm gonna listen to the song and write them down real quick so that I can sing them into the closet. A sentence I never thought I'd really have to say. Here we go. It doesn't make me sad that my roots grew tired seeking relief. In this time I sprouted in many directions. It doesn't disappoint me to be gifted pollination, even when I was already plentiful. It doesn't make me cry that you never watered me. Okay. Decent first take. I think I just have to mean it a little bit more because, you know, I'm just saying words, so it's not like I'm singing. I just have to like, let me get into it. I feel pretty confident in it. Now I just do the double. It's gonna basically match up the same. I might do a little, because it's a spoken word, I might do a little bit of a different interpretation, but the notes will mostly be the same. And when I'm doing my double, I switch ears that's open, just because it helps me to like get a different sense of the room that I'm in. It seems silly, but I think it does change the performance. So for some reason, I feel like my right ear is a little more accurate and my left ear is a little bit more creative, we'll say. So when I switch ears, it feels like a more balanced me. And I'm also usually using my left ear to do the more creative take, and I have the right ear doing the correct thing, so I can kind of veer off. That might be entirely mental, but I think it's true. Anyway. Okay, and now let's do some background vocals. I'm gonna go ahead and double those two. I just like the sound of a doubled vocal. It adds so much. Being able to pan those in different ears is everything. And it also just feels good to have a rounded take. Switch ears. Maybe it's placebo, maybe it's Maybelline. Cool. Let's hear what that sounds like. You don't make me cry. It doesn't make me cry. Cool. So this is, we'll have to tame this a little bit, but I'm getting hungry. Hey, I'm getting hungry. So I think I'm gonna take a little break and come back to this with some fresh ears and kind of figure out what's next. Okay, some time has passed. I'm in my living room. It's a different day. It's a different time of day. I have decided, context, I went to a house party. My friend was DJing, and then they were like, my friend's husband was like, "You about to DJ?" And I was like, "I've never done that before, so probably not." And then I did, and it was kind of fun, and I was not terrible at it. But it really was just like I didn't know what I was doing. So I grabbed my DJ controller that I have, because another friend gave it to me, power friendship, which is like a crucial rule in anime. you can never forget the power of friendship, the power of loving someone a lot. Anyway, um, I've been fucking around with it, right? Me and my partner were doing some parallel play. He was playing games and I was playing music for him. And then I was like, maybe this needs a touch of not me. My tongue brown, drinking coffee. Anyway, maybe this needs a touch of not me. I've been wanting this to be way less ego driven and way less like about me, okay? Because music is not about me. It's just like something that's in me. It's something I've absorbed over time and spent time and discipline with. But it's not all of me, and it's not, I want to share it in different ways. So anyway, I think that I'm sitting here with my pen and my journal in hand, different journal. And I am sitting with, hey, la la la, DJ Pro, and sitting with my instrumental that I created. It's not even entirely mixed yet. And I think I'm going to mash it with this David Bowie sample that I've been loving. The moon is in Capricorn. He is a Capricorn, or an Aquarius rising also. That's what it is. And I'm also an Aquarius rising. And I relate to him a lot. And I also wanted to do like a song from my childhood that I love. And I picked Strawberry Letter 23. And we're going to go with it. We're going to see how this matches up. I'm going to sit with the lyrics and kind of like reshape the form of the song. And I might have to take some stems and do some mixing magic, which might take a little bit of time. But I think after that, I'll just record some new vocals and tie it all together, because I think that's what this project needs. It doesn't need each song for my EP. It needs a touch of all of the things that made me me and made me write these songs into the actual discography of mine. So we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. Okay, and next I need the David Bowie sample. So I'm taking this from the Little Wonder track. Like, incredible sounds coming out of this album. And I'm gonna sample this, and I've really increased the speed. This is at like 181.9, so that it matches that Brothers Johnson slower bit. And hopefully it'll be like this really fun matchup, but we'll see. I'm gonna mix it in from a low frequency sweep. Okay, so now I have this really fun project of chopping these bits and putting them where they actually need to go. So that's gonna take a minute. So let's figure out exactly the form. I mean, I have the form written down, so now it's just putting them together and making sure they sound some semblance of good before I mix them. And putting in some new vocals as well. Yay! I'm kind of excited. This is kind of gonna be cool. This is going to be cool. Cool. See you soon. Cooking. I'm chefing the fuck out of this. It's sounding good. I think I'm almost there. I'm really excited to re-record some of these vocals because they're kind of verbed out and slowed because I had to slow the original track. But yeah, I'm just checking in because soon I'll probably take a lunch break and then record vocals, then maybe take another break, and then maybe mix it all together. I can't wait to mix it and make sure it sounds awesome. and sing over this. It's gonna sound so fun.
Still enjoy sunshine. It doesn't make me cry that you never watered me. My flowers still enjoy sunshine.
That's a wrap. It's release time. The song is now out on my Bandcamp, and you can scan this QR code. Sure, I'll make a QR code, and it will take you there to download it. Or maybe I'll put a link in. I don't know, whatever. It sounds great. I'm really happy with this result. And I wish that I had recorded more of the process of me remixing the actual like mashup bits, but I was in the zone, and I'm glad that I recorded the beginning of the process so that I could show you like what the typical process is, because a lot of that was happening with that process as well, with the revamp. So go stream. Thanks for watching. My lips are chapped. I'm gonna continue to post this on YouTube and catch you guys like next week for another mashup. Cool. Love you. Bye.